Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting season of Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs baseball right here on the Studio 25 Podcast Network. I'm your play-by-play host, Scott Kimball, filling in for the incomparable Pete Pagliaro. And I'll tell you something, this feels so good to be back at Veterans Memorial Park. It's like a breath of fresh air. And you know what, folks? It's not raining tonight. So we will take that all day, every day, especially with the way the weather has been as of late. So tonight's game is an exhibition game. It does not count in the PGCBL standings. However, these players have come to play tonight. I can tell you that. I was talking to them on the field before, and they are ready to go. Tonight's game is only going to be 7 games since it is an exhibition. Tomorrow night, the Dawgs will open their regular season at home against their arch nemesis, the Utica Blue Sox. Pitching for your DiamondDawgs tonight is Matthew Kahn. He's coming to us from Villanova University, right outside of Philadelphia. I think it's actually in Philadelphia. I'll have to check on that. So there you go. Exactly. I knew it was somewhere around there.
It's outside of Philadelphia.
Outside of Philadelphia. Okay, that's right. Temple's inside of Philadelphia. Okay. I got you. See,
Temple's on Broad Street.
I'm getting a little old, but it's coming back. It's coming back, right? And by the way, folks, I do kind of want to just give you a heads up since this is the beginning of the season. If I happen to butcher a name or two, bear with me. I'll get it right. Don't worry about it. Like I said, this is an exhibition for everybody involved here. So, like I said, we got some fans here tonight ready to go. This is just a wonderful, wonderful thing. The city of Little Falls, the Mohawk Valley, everybody is ready to go. And speaking of ready to go, it looks like Matthew Kahn is done with his warm-ups, and we are about to play some baseball. Leading off for Albany is Jared Russell. He's playing center field tonight for them. He's wearing number 1. Now, I will tell you that I don't have a list of the colleges that the Albany Athletics are from, so you're just going to kind of have to bear with me on that one, too. But it doesn't matter because we're here to have fun tonight. It's the right-handed throwing Kahn against the right-handed batting Russell, and we are ready to go. And here's the first pitch, and that is into right field. Right there for the play is Ian Oschlager. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here we go, Dogs.
Number 14 from Southern Connecticut State University, Mike Talavera.
So from Southern Connecticut State University is Mike Talavera. He's playing first base, and of course I'm going to have you listen to our PA announcer, Jack McMurray, because he's going to have all those colleges right there for me. I'm going to be paying attention to Jack all night long. As Kahn looks in, he gets ready to deliver the pitch, and here it is. And that's on the corner for strike 1.
Bring your center of the picture just a little bit more.
So the lights are coming on already as it's getting kind of overcast, but like I said, it will not rain, I'm telling you. And that pitch had a lot of movement on it, but it moved out of the strike zone for ball 1. So the count's at 1-1 with 1 out here, no hits in the top of the first inning. The Albany Athletics in their black, red, and white uniforms. Ooh, that was inside. That was a whistler. Went right by his waist there. So a little bit too inside. Ball 2. Counts 2-1. And your DiamondDawgs have got those sharp black jerseys. I like those jerseys those Dogs are wearing tonight. And that's a tag right at the shortstop. Fires across. And that is out number 2. So that was Sean Stoney on the play at short. Fired across over to Brandon Houck, and it is 2 outs quickly here for the Dogs. Now up for Albany is Marvin Hill. He is the designated hitter for those Albany Athletics. And he's a right-handed batter as well, going against, like I said, the right-handed throwing Kahn. And since I was talking over our PA announcer, I did not quite catch what the college is from. But, hey, that's kind of what I do sometimes. And that one just missed a little bit high. Had a lot of movement on it, just missed. 1-0 is your count. As Kahn looks in, fires one right on the corner, strike 1. Well, you could tell from up here, he said, you know what, this pitch, I am bringing the gas, folks. And he did for sure. Put it right on the corner. Nice pitch by Matt Kahn. Counts 1-1. As he looks in, there's the pitch, and that's fouled back over onto it. I'm sure that's on Burwell Street right now. I did not hear it hit any cars, so far so good for us this season, folks. Count is 1-2. And Kahn always Looks like he's always going to be pitching from the stretch. There's no windup for him. No full windup, I should say. As he looks in, here's the pitch. Nice breaking pitch. Strike three, handcuffed him. 3 up, 3 down for your Dogs. And as we go to the bottom of the first inning, the score is 0-0. We'll be right back.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
That's right, DiamondDawgs fans. You do rule indeed, and we are heading into the bottom of the first. No score here between the Albany Athletics and the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Your hometown Dogs are getting ready to come to bat, and it's going to be leading off. It's going to be John Calabrese. He's the center fielder tonight, and I'm going to look it up here. He's from Bucknell University. I'm going to have to figure out where that one is. I'm not quite sure where Bucknell is, so we ought to get a contest going. See who can respond the fastest. We'll have to get a social media thing. We'll have to talk to Dave about that. See if you can tell me where the university is, what the nickname is. I'll just give you the name. It'll be a fun thing to do, but not tonight. We're not quite prepared for that. So pitching tonight for Albany is Devin Campbell. He's a right-hander, and it looks like he's another one that throws right out of the stretch. And I'm not quite sure what college he comes to us from, but I will get that information for you. As we got some Billy Idol cranking over the speakers here at Veterans Memorial Park. Love it. Absolutely love it. I'm a guy of the 80s. We got a little breeze blowing from left to right field. And Calabrese is on his way to the plate and ready to go. So Calabrese is a left-hander. So a left-hander against a right-handed throwing pitcher. Oh, he lays down a bunt, but it fouls off the plate and back. Well, you caught everybody off guard there, though. I wasn't expecting it. I know that. So a little trickery here out of your DiamondDawgs already. Speaking of your DiamondDawgs, they're coached by Steve Luby. Coach Luby has been here for quite some time now, and he's done a fantastic job every single time, every game. And that is fouled off into foul territory. Is it going to make this seat? And it does. So the count's 0-2. This season, your assistant coach for your Dogs is Adam Kowalski, and the pitching coach is Mike Harrington. So owner Travis Heiser has put together just another fantastic coaching staff, and I'm sure it's going to reap many benefits for the Dogs and their fans. So we got an 0-2 count here with no outs in the bottom of the first inning. As Calabrese waits for Campbell, and that is outside ball one. Good eye. So I like what Calabrese does there. He doesn't take a full swing when he warms up. He kind of stops halfway through, and then he follows through. I like that. That's different. And here's the windup. There's the pitch. Did he get a piece of it? No, he did not. And they're going to throw down, and that is it for Calabrese. One out. As the designated hitter, Matt Meyer, is coming up. Matt's from right here in New York State, Brockport University. So you can sort of say he's a local guy. He's a New York State guy, so hey. As Campbell looks in, here's the windup, here's the pitch, and that is low and away for ball one. Tell you, one of the fun things about DiamondDawgs baseball is you see mostly new players every year, and you get to know different things about the players. I can't wait to have some more fun facts and fun things to talk about as the season goes on. A big swing and a miss. Strike one. Like I said, Meyer is the designated hitter tonight, so unless Coach Luby changes things up, we won't see him out in the field. And that is high. Good take. Ball 2. So 2-1 here with 1 out in bottom of the first inning. No score just yet. And the Dogs have no runners on board. Campbell's got that, when he stares in, he's got that arm swing to him. I'm trying to think what pitcher was exactly he reminds me of. That's a ground ball over to third base. Fired across the diamond. Nice scoop for out number 2. So that was P.J. Strand with a play over at third. And Mike Talavera with a, like I said, nice scoop to save the out. So now Ian Oschlager is up to the plate. He's the right fielder tonight for your Dogs, and he's from RPI too, so another New York State guy. You know, we're keeping it home, keeping it within the boundaries of New York State here. And that's righty against righty as Campbell looks in. And that is on the inside corner, strike 1.
Xavier go to bat, Evan go to pitcher.
Kimbrell, Greg Kimbrell. That's who he reminds me of, the pitcher. With that arm swing there.
We switch responsibilities. Evan's on play.
And that's a chopper over to short, one hopper. Throws across the diamond, another scoop by Talavera, and they got him. So that is it. 3 up, 3 down for your Dogs. And we will go to the top of the second inning with no score. We will be right back.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
Okay, we are back here at Veterans Memorial Park for the top of the second inning where we have no score between the Albany Athletics and the home team Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. I'll tell you, so far this PA system has been all 80s, and I am absolutely loving it. You know, we should do an 80s night here at the park. We really should. We'll all dress up. Huh? We'll all dress up, and we'll wear headbands, maybe some neon. We'll have a blast, I'm telling you. No? No? I mean, I don't know. Maybe we can even get the DeLorean time machine out in the field. What do you think? No? Okay. Well, anyways, it was worth a try. Okay. Back to being serious here as we are ready to start this second inning. So Cam Mayu from Virginia Wesleyan University. He's the catcher for Albany. He's going to lead off. He's a right-handed batter going against the right-handed throwing Con. And there's strike 1. Oh, there was a pitching change. Okay. I didn't even see that. So it's Jack Montagna is in now. I'm sorry about that. I was talking so much about the 80. Montaigne is in. All right, yeah. So there's a high fly. All right. So we're back on track here, folks. I had my head turned. So it's the first game. We're going to get all the bugs worked out. All right, Kyle Brown now up with a runner on first base. He is the right fielder for Albany.
Xavier, you're still on play. I'll try to let you know where the ball's getting hit.
As Montaigne looks in, takes a look over, and there's the pitch outside. So Jack was here last year. He comes to us from SUNY Poly, right up the road here in Utica. So, and there's the throw over. Nice scoop there. Nice scoop by Hawk. That could have been dangerous, but very nice defensive play there. So the count's 1-0. with the runner on first base. No outs here in the top of the second inning. And that's right down the middle for strike one. So you got a count of 1-1 now. As Montaigne pitching from the stretch. The right-hander took a look over, and he's going to throw over again. Oh, boy, did they get him? They got him! Nice play there by the Dawgs. A heck of a throw by Montaigne and a heck of a tag by Houck, and that eliminates the base runner on first for Albany. So I'll tell you what, you create your own defense. That's how you do it right there. So now with one out, we have a count of 1-1, and here's the pitch. And that is a little outside for ball two. Boy, I tell you, plays like that are such a pick-me-up for the team, too. Really a good way to get everybody fired up, get them right back going. And we got a 2-1 count here. It's a little bit inside off the shoulder, and that is a hit batter. So it looked like he had trying to curveball there or a breaking ball that just did not break. So Albany now has a runner on first again.
Now back to Athletics, second baseman, number 4 from Hudson Valley Community College, Matt Moran.
And Matt Moran from Hudson Valley Community College is up now. He's the second baseman for Albany. So once again, Albany has a runner on first with one out. Let's see what they can do this time. And yeah, he did go around. That's strike one. Montaigne brought the heat. A little bit of habanero sauce on there for that one. And Brown leads off first. And here's the pitch. And that's in there, strike two. So Montaigne quickly gets ahead in the count, 0-2. As he looks in, here's the pitch. That's nice. Oh, it's in his feet. Oh, okay, there you go. Nice play by the catcher, Nico Cerise, to keep that in front of him and not let that get to the backstop. Because I will tell you this, here at Veterans Memorial Park, there is a mile of space behind the play here to get to the backstop. So it certainly behooves a catcher to keep the ball in front of him here. And there goes the runner. There's the throw down. They get him. They got him. So there you go. Yeah, we're going to, you know what? We got a new feature here for you tonight, folks, and we're going to try it out. We've got instant replay, and we're going to watch that throw all over again. Is it coming in? And we're playing right now. Wow, here we go. Boom. Look at that. Got him. All right, so now there's two outs here. As P.J. Strand is up. He's the third baseman. And there it is. So a strikeout to end the inning. So tell you what, Albany got the first a couple times, and the Dawgs extinguished that both times, and we will go to the bottom of the second with the score 0-0. We'll be right back.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, we are back for the bottom of the second inning. Boy, I tell you, You know, that instant replay is awesome. We just got to work out the quirks a little bit as far as me being able to tell when it's over and when we're back on. So here we go. Joey Calabrese, the third baseman's up. And he takes a healthy cut and sends a rocket over into foul territory, strike one. So Joey is coming to us from Seton Hall University down there in New Jersey. At one time, a big-time college basketball Big East rival of the Syracuse Orange, for those of us who are into college basketball around here. As Campbell remains in the game, that is out into the gap in left center field. The left fielder is under it, and he pulls it in for out number one. It was Christian Tortorici. I believe that's how you say that, so hopefully I got it right. So got good contact with it, but it just did not carry enough. And now here is Justin Hurd. Dawgs fans are familiar with him. He was here last year and had a heck of a season for the Dawgs. He comes to us from Albany. Tonight, Justin is playing second base as Devin Campbell remains in the game on the mound for the Athletics. And that is in the dirt, ball one. As Campbell looks in, here's the windup, here's the pitch, and that's high for ball two. Yeah, you know, I mentioned that drive by Calabrese just would not carry. You know, since we're listening to 80s music, I'm thinking, you know, voices carry. That just did not carry. So, till Tuesday, a little 80s for you. Anyways, counts 2-0. 1 out. Here in the bottom of the second, it's now 3-0. As Hurd showing some restraint on that attempt by Campbell to get him to chase some high cheese, but he was not biting. Counts 3-0. You got to wonder if he's going to have the green light here. And here's the pitch, and that is high and away for ball four. So there you go. The Dawgs have got a runner aboard. So Brandon Houck, the first baseman who made a couple of spectacular scoops over there last inning, is now up. He's coming to us from St. Thomas Aquinas College. So that's a mouthful. Say that 5 times really fast. And that is into right field for a base hit. Hurd's rounding second. He's going to third. And they did not cut the throw. However, Houck is going to stay at first. So the Dawgs have got the table set here. Runners on first and third with 1 out. And now another returning Dawg, Ethan Hughes, is up.
Why the situation is different. We have a runner on third. Why am I on to stay?
Ethan is at Warner University. So, you know, speaking of Warner, we got Dave Stitch Warner, who's our executive producer here at the Creative Outpost. He's out there taking stills with one of our interns, Madison Kinville.
I'm off your cameras. You guys are free to move. Xavier, you're going to stay right on home if there's a hit.
As Campbell looks in here, he's got himself a little bit of a pickle now. And that is driven out to center field. It should be deep enough to score a run. Catch is made. Hurd's tagging up. Here he comes. And your Dawgs are going to be up 1-0 as Houck stays at first. Smart base running move there because they cut that off. And your Dawgs are now up. So there you go. The Dawgs bark on that one for sure.
It's all about this base coach. If he's still
As Nico Cerise, your catcher, is up. He's coming to us from Hudson Valley Community College. He threw out a runner last inning on a heck of a throw there. So let's see what he can do at the plate. The runner on first base, 2 outs now. Dawgs leading by 1. And that is in there for strike 1. As Campbell looks in, looking to get himself out of this inning with as little damage as possible. The Dawgs have got 1 across already. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So Cerise is we're behind in the count early, 0-2 here. And here's the windup. So I thought. Taking a little bit extra time. There you go. And that's fouled off. Nice play by Coach Louie. Boy, I tell you, he's still got the hands out there. He looked like Derek Jeter just stabbing that one right out of the air. So the count remains 0-2. Hawks still at first base. Dawgs up by 1. And here's the pitch. In the dirt. And that was a nice stop there by Mile. So, all right, 1-2 here. So Reese is alive at the plate. Hawks on first, and the Dawgs looking to push across to another run here as they lead 1-0. Solid hit right at the third baseman, though. Fires across the diamond, and that is going to do it. However, the DiamondDawgs take the lead. They lead 1-0 here going into the top of the third. We will be right back.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
Okay, we are back for the top of the third inning as we got another new pitcher here for the DiamondDawgs, Luke Jacobson. Another pitcher coming to us from Villanova. It's up on the mound. He's a right-hander. And a nice side sweeping motion there. Almost looks like Walter Johnson, the big train from way back in the day. As we got some David Lee Roth cranking on the speakers now, too. I'm loving this. I am so loving this. You know, this game's only going to be 7 innings. With this music going the way it's going, I would almost like it to be 17 innings. As Chris Ezzo just gave me a look like you got to be kidding me. Okay, we're back to action here. P.J. Strand leading off for the Athletics. He's the third baseman. The right-hander. He just actually made the last put out of the inning. So threw across the diamond to end the inning, and now he's up to the plate to start the inning as I am staring at some gigantic bumblebees. I think there is a nest somewhere around us. So Mother Nature is giving us a helping hand up here in the booth. Well, at least maybe they can spot some plays for us. All right. First pitch from Jacobson, ball 1, a little bit high. As Jacobson looks in, here's the windup, here's the pitch. And that's on the corner for strike 1. And that one is a little bit outside. So ball 2, 2-1 here. No outs, top of the third inning. Dawgs leading 1-0. There's P.J. Strand leading off for the Athletics. Here's the pitch. And that one's outside as well. So the count runs to 3-1. Strand in a hitter's count now. As he looks to try to get his team back into this game, being down 1-0. And that is inside for ball 4. So a leadoff walk for P.J. Strand. So Ty Mariano, the shortstop now. The righty's got a chance to move his teammate along here on the base paths as Jacobson looks in. He's in the stretch, no throw over. Here's the pitch. And that is into right field. Is that going to land? Kind of hard to tell. It is going to land. Okay, so Strand to third. Mariano holds it first, and now the Athletics are set up here with runners on the corners, no outs.
George, you're back on batter's box. Now, this is going to be an interesting spot, though. Xavier, you got to expect that first is going to steal here.
So now Christian Tortorisi with a heck of a chance here to get an RBI. He is the left fielder for Albany.
Scoring's the most important part here.
Jacobson in some early trouble here.
Guide you through, so if it's a short hit, we're going to want to go first to get the play.
You got to wonder if the runner on first is going to be going here. Not this time. That's inside for ball one. So this is a good early test here for the Dogs because, you know, these are the kind of plays you want to be able to be prepared for as the regular season starts. So you got a new team gelling together here. They haven't had much playing time. They've had 2 practices. So, like I said, a very good test as the count goes to 2-0. That's a ground ball over to first. Oh! So the throw over to first. Stoney was just a little bit outside him, couldn't handle it, and the runner scores. No out is picked up there, so Albany ties the game up at 1. With Ryan Reagan coming up, he is the extra hitter tonight from Adirondack Community College. So runners on first and second, still no outs, and Albany with a golden opportunity here to take the lead. And that's right down the middle for strike one. Boy, that's what Jacobson needed right there. Everything calm down, just put that out of your mind and go back after the batter. And that's a little bit outside for ball one. You know, and these are the kind of setups right here that you always talk about when you're little leaguers. Where are you going to go with that ball if it's hit to you? Where's the play? You got force outs at third, second, and first. And that's fouled off into the stands. Is that going to make over? It did. It made the tennis courts. All right. First one over into the tennis courts that I've seen anyways. That's always a staple here at Veterans Memorial Park, too. The kids love going after those foul balls. So you got a 1-2 count now. No outs here. Runners on first and second. Jacobson delivers, and that is in the dirt. Nice play by Cerise to keep it in front of him. The count goes to 2-2.
All right, I'm going to have to go switch. George get pitcher, Xavier get batter. You're both good to move. I'm wrong. Yep.
Jacobson looks over at the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Just missed. Oof. That one was close. So you got a full count here, no outs. Third base is open as Jacobson looks in. Here's the pitch. And that's on the corner, strike 3. Reagan tried to sell that one, no dice, so there you go. That is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Dogs because you really want to get an out there, get your confidence back up. You still got runners on first and second, but now you got 1 out, a double play gets you out of the inning, and Jared Russell is up, the center fielder leadoff hitter, as he steps in. And a big cut and a miss, so Russell was thinking about ribbies there, but he got nothing in that pitch anyways, so count goes to 0-1. And that's outside, ball 1. Count goes to 1-1 as Jacobson looking to work his way out of some trouble here. As the wind is also shifted. It was left to right. Now it is right to left as we're looking at the beautiful American flag in center field there. Swaying in all its glory. Ooh, boy, that was a buzz cut right there. It did miss him, though, so the count goes to 2-1. It looks like the sun is beginning to set here in Little Falls. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So there you go. Count goes to 2-2. As like I said, Jacobson looking to get himself out of trouble here. Just missed outside, so the count goes full once again. And we are back to action as we had a brief timeout there. As Russell steps in. Jacobson takes a look a second. Here's the pitch. And is outside for ball 4. So the bases are loaded now with Athletics. Mr. Reese calls timeout to go out talk to his pitcher. Calm him down a little bit. Discuss some pitching strategy. As the first baseman, Mike Talavera, gets ready to come in. We got a conference going on here at the mound. Coach will be out there, direct some traffic, letting his defensive players know exactly where he wants them. Obviously, he wants them in double play depth. So here we go. Let's see what Talavera can do. Jacobson looks in, gets his signal. He's ready to go. And that is low for ball 1. And here's the pitch. And that is high and outside, ball 2. So 2-0. Nowhere to put any more runners. So Jacobson's going to have to bear down and throw some strikes here. Shakes off one signal. Hey, he likes what he sees now. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Boy, you handcuffed him there. That was a nice pitch right there. Kind of looked like Talavera was sitting on a fastball, and he got a surprise changeup, and that did not go well for him at all. So the count goes to 2-1. That's outside for ball 3 here. So 3-1, 1 out. Bases are loaded with Athletics. We got a tie game at 1 here in the top of the 3rd inning. As Jacobson looks in, here's the pitch. And that is fouled off. So a full count as that one also lands in the tennis court. So here you go. This is doesn't get any better than this, folks. Full count. Bases are full. Pitcher against batter. Here it is, and that is laced into right field. Oh, off his glove. Oh, that's going to be costly as 1 run's going to score. And here comes a 2nd run, so that's a costly error there in right field as Albany plates 2, and they take a 3-1 lead. So Oschlager it looks like he just kind of lost track. This is a new ballpark for him, so you got to figure. Going to take a little bit of time to get adjusted to the lights and to the way the park is. So, and it's an exhibition game. That's what this is for. In the meantime, Marvin Hill is up. Marvin is from Herkimer College, so he is quite familiar with this ballpark. Marvin's the designated hitter, and he's got runners on 2nd and 3rd. And that one's inside for ball 1. As some may know, the Generals play a lot of their home games here at Veterans Memorial Park. So, and boy, I tell you, they had a heck of a season this year too. I think they were 33-6. They were ranked 6th in the country. Great season for the Generals. That's in the dirt. So the count goes to 2-0 here with 1 out in the top of the 3rd inning. Albany now leading 3-1. Here's the pitch. Outside, so ball 3. Count goes to 3-0. As Hill is in a tremendous hitter's count right now, he can just basically pick which pitch he wants. Doesn't matter, that was low and inside, so a 4-pitch walk. As Hill takes first base, the bases are loaded back up with athletics. And Coach Libby is going to make a pitching change here, so let's see who he brings in. So I'm signaled the bullpen. I just can't see what number yet, so. Is that Drew Harris? That's where we think so. 3-8. It is confirmed. It's Drew Harris coming into the game. Drew's a right-hander coming to the Dogs this year from George Washington University. All right, so while Harris is warming up, we're going to go to a quick commercial break with the bases loaded here. Albany leading 3-1. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
Okay, we are back here as Harris is taking his warm-ups. And before we get back to game action, I just want to give a quick shout-out to our interns here for the Creative Outpost. Working hard out there on those cameras. So you got Evan Martinuk, George Roger, and you got Xavier Regan. So good job, guys, out on the video cameras. And I already mentioned Madison Kinville doing some stills with Dave Warner. So Creative Outpost out there working hard to bring this live stream to you. And I just noticed something on the PA. We have our first 90s song. So we break from the 80s, we go to the 90s with Blind Melon. And how appropriate, because if you remember that video, it was somebody dressed up as a bee running around. And what do we have up here in the press box? About 40 bumblebees. So good call, Ezzo. Fortunately, these bees are pretty friendly. They've pretty much left us alone. So we like that. All right, we're back to game action here. As we've got bases loaded, 1 out, Albany leading 3-1. And Cam Mayu up. He is the catcher. So Harris coming into a real jam here, but let's see if he can put some peanut butter on that and make a 2-out sandwich and get the Dogs out of the inning. So the right-hander looks in against the right-handed batter, and here we go. And he's bringing the gas right off the bat. A little bit low, ball 1. And that's right back through the middle. Almost, but not quite. Stoney couldn't get to it. 1 run scores. Oh, the ball gets away, and that's runners are going to hold. So 1 run comes in, but that was it. As Calabrese made a nice throw to get that ball right back in. And Stoney almost got that one, but boy, did he tag that ball. As Kyle Brown up, the right fielder. He's got bases loaded. 1 out still for Albany. And here's the pitch. And that's right back into center field, too. Calabrese is going to be a busy guy out there. 1 run scores, and once again, they're going to hold it to 1. But Albany now leading 5-1.
Play for the Athletics. The second baseman, number 4, from Hudson Valley Community College, Matt Moran.
As now it's Matt Moran's turn up the dish. He is Albany's second baseman. He plays his college ball at Hudson Valley. As you got to feel for Harris, he came into a tough situation here, and it remains a tough situation as the bases are still loaded with one out. The Dawgs would love nothing more than a double play ball right here. And there's strike one. That was a nice pitch right down the pipe. As Harris looks in. A lot of movement on that pitch, and that moved right back over to the strike zone for strike two. So 1-2 now. Harris starting maybe getting his groove a little bit. Like I said, he came in cold into a really tough situation, so let's see if he can get that train rolling. That's laced into center field. Calabrese is right there. Makes the catch, fires back in. Hill is going to score, no throw. So the Dawgs get their second out. However, Albany does get another runner. It is now 6-1 Athletics.
Now to play for the Athletics. The third baseman, number 27, from Marist College, P.J. Strand.
And it's P.J. Strand now up. PJ's the third baseman. Got a pretty unique helmet there. Kind of almost reminds me of the Michigan Wolverines. Sort of. Except it's red and it's white. And some movement on that pitch right into the strike zone. Strike one. So you got runners on first and second with 2 outs. As the Dawgs just looking to put this nightmare inning to an end. And that's in there for strike two. So there you go. Harris gets ahead in the count early. It's 0. And here's the pitch. And that's into right field. Oschlager's on his horse. Makes the catch. Nice running catch there. And that will get the Dawgs out of the inning. And we are going to take another look at that because that was a heck of a play. So here it is, folks.
If you are looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
Yes. All right, we are back, and we're going to take a look at that inning-ending catch by Ian Oschlager once again because, number one, it was a great catch, and number two, we've got this new feature for instant replay, and we just think it's so cool. You know, with this exhibition game, we're trying to work in the best spots to put it, so here it is once again. Now, keep in mind, he is in full flight here. Look at that bang. That was in foul territory, too, so he had a long way to go. Nice play, Ian. Okay, so we're back for the bottom of the third inning. The Dawgs have got a bit of a hole to dig out of here. Still a lot of time, though, as Devin Campbell remains in the game on the pitcher's mound for Albany. Dawgs down 6-1, but you know what? Year after year after year, we know something about the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. It's that they never, ever quit. So you can expect more of the same this season, and you can bet that they're not going to take this line down. As the
shortstop, number 2, from Lincoln University, Sean Stoney.
So Sean Stoney, the Dawgs shortstop, leading off. Sean plays his college ball at Lincoln University. So I wonder if they're in the same conference as George Washington University. That would be pretty cool, the President's Conference. Nah, maybe not. Anyways, here's the pitch. And that is a little bit low, ball one. See, that's another one. That would be another part of the game. Yeah. We got to figure out where Lincoln is now. I would guess Nebraska, because there's a Lincoln, Nebraska. That's in for strike one. So I'm being told I was wrong as usual. It's Pennsylvania. So there you go. Yeah, whatever you do, folks, do not go on like FanDuel or anything and take my word for anything. You'll lose. So
All right, both you guys.
and that is outside for ball two. So 2-1 is the count. As Stoney looking to get on base here and get something going for the Dogs. And that's in there for strike two. So, counts 2-2 here. No runners aboard in the bottom of the third inning. As Campbell looks in, here's the pitch. And that was on the inside corner, strike three. Handcuffed him.
Hey, George, nice job right there giving him a lead.
All right, so now up is John Calabrese, the center fielder for the Dogs. He was busy last inning. It seems like the ball was a magnet to his glove there, so. So the one out, the left-hander is going to be trying to get aboard here, try to get something started. That one's low for ball one. I commented last time he was up. He's got that unique warm-up swing. I like that. It's almost something you would see in the Matrix. Stop and then continue. And okay, well, a little delayed call there, but nonetheless, it's a strike. So strike one. Counts 1-1 here, one out. Bottom of the third inning, score 6-1. And here's the pitch. And that is to the first baseman. Off his glove. They still might. Nope, they will not have a play. Calabrese did a good job of hustling down the line there. The throw got by the second baseman, but it was backed up by the catcher, Milo. So there you go. The Dogs have got a runner aboard now. Now, got to do something. Got to keep them moving as Matt Myers steps in, the designated hitter. There's only one out on the board here, so they might be down 5, but you still got a lot of time here. And that's in the dirt for ball one. As Calabrese stays put. Starting to get into the heart of the Dogs' order here as Myers, the second, that's number 2 tonight. And there he goes. There goes Calabrese. He got a great jump, and he is in there head first.
There you go. Great job.
There you go. And that's another thing we expect to see from the DiamondDawgs. As always, aggressive, smart base running.
Straight up pitch. You can center him just a little more. Yep.
Now with a runner in scoring position, Myers has got a shot at an RBI here. And that is outside, so ball 2. So there you go. That's exactly what you need if you're the Dogs. Get that runner in scoring position, and now just keep the train moving. And that is into right. That's foul. So the count goes to 2-2 with one out here. As Campbell looks in, takes a look over at second base, and here's the pitch. And that is down. That's going to be foul. So the fellows over in the DiamondDawgs bullpen are beginning to work out, chasing after those foul balls, because that's right in the direction those last 2 went.
All right, George, I'm on you. Xavier, you're free now.
And here's the pitch. And that is lifted up to the infield. Everybody's calling for it, and that is caught by the shortstop, Ty Mariano, for out number 2.
Out of the plate, the right fielder, number 14, RPI, Ian Oschlager.
So Ian Olschlager, from RPI, is now up. He's got 2 outs, and I'll tell you what, he was the star of our instant replay last inning with that great catch over in right field. And you never know, if he can drive a run in here, he might be on that instant replay again. We'll see what happens. As Campbell looks in, here's the pitch. Low in the dirt, ball 1. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Dawgs down 5, but they got a runner in scoring position. And that's a grounder to shortstop. That's going to be a tough play. Throw across a diamond, not in time. Ball gets away. Heads up play by Calabrese. He was running all the way, and there you go. If you're the DiamondDawgs, that's exactly what you needed right there. Get that run across. Take advantage of a play that, well, it got away from the first baseman, but I'll tell you what, if Calabrese wasn't heads up and running like he was, that would not have happened. So great play there. Your DiamondDawgs score. It's now 6-2.
Now up for the DiamondDawgs, the third baseman, number 13, Joey Calabrese.
As Joey Calabrese steps in now, the third baseman for the Dogs. We got a runner on first base, 2 outs. But like I said, you got to get 1 to get 2 to get 3 to get 4 to get 5. They got the 1 out of the way. There's a healthy cut and a miss for strike 1. As Calabrese batting cleanup tonight. And boy, you know, he'd love to lace one out there and keep this train moving along. On the inside corner, strike 1. Or 2, I'm sorry, strike 2. All right, so you got an 0-2 count now. He's going to have to protect the plate. As Campbell looks in, there's the pitch. He held up, so okay, ball 1. Boy, that's tempting to go after that high cheese too, but he did a great job of holding up. And there's the pitch. That's outside. Almost got away, but not quite. Not enough for Olschlager to take second. Smart move staying at first because that would have been tailor-made for a good throw down there. So, real good play. Nonetheless, on the scoreboard, Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. The Dogs have got 2 runs. Looking to make it 3 here. And here's the pitch. In the dirt for ball 3. Okay, so the count's 3-2. So Calabrese did a great job of battling back from being down 0-2 to forcing a full count. He's 1 pitch away from drawing a walk. There goes Olschlager. Doesn't matter. Ball 4. So there you go. Nice at-bat right there by Joey Calabrese to get aboard. And now with 2 outs, runners on first and second, Justin Hurd is coming up. Hurd is the Dogs' second baseman tonight, coming to us from Albany U. Or U of Albany, I should say. But anyways, Justin was here last year. Like I said in his first at-bat, he had a heck of a season. So he's looking to continue. He knows what DiamondDawgs baseball is all about. He's a veteran around here at Veterans Memorial Park now. Certainly a team leader for this Dogs team. So there you go, Justin. The table is set. Time for you to eat, my friend. And that is in the dirt for ball 1. As Campbell looks in, he's got runners on first and second to contend with. And there's some movement on that pitch in there for strike 1, so the count's 1-1 now. And that's a little bit high for ball 2. So good eye right there by Justin Hurd as he goes ahead and to count 2-1. With 2 outs here, 2 runners aboard. The Dawgs looking to add on. And that's into center field. It's not going to quite carry enough, though, and there is the put out to end the inning. However, your Dawgs get 1 back, and heading into the top of the 4th inning, the score remains 6-2. Albany leads. We'll be right back.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
Okay, we are back for the top. We are back here for the top of the 4th inning as Albany leads 6-2. Drew Harris remains in the game on the pitcher's mound for the DiamondDawgs. He'll get a clean slate to start with this inning, so as the Dogs look to put a halt on this Albany offense here, get some runs back and get back in the game themselves. As Ty Mariano comes up to the plate. And as you might have heard, he plays at U of Albany, so not too far of a travel for him. From his college ball to his PGCBL ball. That's in there for strike 1. And that's over to the second baseman, Hurd. Flips it over to first base, and there you go. As Hawk pulls it in, and that is 1 out there. Nice play by the Dawgs. As Christian Tortorici steps in, he's the left fielder for Albany. We got 1 out here, no runners aboard. And Harris delivers. That's in the dirt for ball 1. Looks like the ump got a dirt shower there, and that pitch in the dirt. So we continue on. Counts 1-0. Nice movement on that pitch in there for strike 1. I'll tell you, it looks like Harris is a power pitcher, but he can go with off speed as well. Swing and a miss, strike 2. As he looks in, counts 1-2. We are ready. Here's the pitch. And it's right back to the middle. Bounced off the mound. Oh, Hurd with a throw over. Oh!
We're good? Yep, Evan. Yeah.
Almost a spectacular play there. Just couldn't get it over in time. That was it took that weird hop off the mound. It bounced over Harris because Harris actually had a beat on it and Hurd hustled, but just wasn't meant to be. So an infield hit there for Albany. And now they've got a runner on first base with Ryan Reagan stepping in. He is the extra hitter. Went out just a tough break for the Dogs there. First pitch swing, fouls it off into the tennis courts. You got some young Dogs fans over there going crazy trying to get that ball. So That's a game in itself over there.
You got to turn your phone off, man. We're at work.
And that one gets away. So it looked like they just got their signals crossed there, and it's kind of an unfortunate break. So Albany now with a runner at second base with a 1-1 count, 1 out. And there's the pitch. And that is ball 2. So Harris kind of snake bitten in this inning so far, but let's see if he's got the anti-venom. There's the pitch, and that is popped up and out of play. It did not land on our roof. I was waiting for that bang, and it did not come in. So, I know. Hopefully nobody got hit behind us. That's the important thing. 2-2 here, 1 out, runner on second base. We got a brief timeout here, and we are back to baseball. As Harris looks in, checks the runner a second. Oh, a little gamesmanship out there. In the dirt for ball 3. So Tortorici doing some dancing out there. He almost got caught. He was leaning, and then he's like, I better get back. It was like Dancing with the Stars out there. Counts 3-2, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. I'm sorry. 2 outs now for the Dawgs. That was a nice pitch by Harris. And now you got the top of the order coming up in Jared Russell. He's the center fielder for Albany. But it's a big change in complexion here as opposed to 1 to 2 outs here. As Harris looks to work his way out of this without giving up any runs. Big Bender misses just high. As Harris looks in, gets the signal, and a swing and a miss. Strike 1. As the wind's starting to pick back up a little bit, right to left field. And there goes the runner. Throw down. It looks like they might have got him. They did. They did. What a nice throw. Cerise, that's the second runner he's throwing out tonight. So, that will do it for Albany in the top of the 4th inning as they go down without scoring any runs. Score remains 6-2. We'll be right back.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
We are back. We are back for the bottom of the 4th inning here. Dawgs trailing by 4. Is how appropriate. The sign is cranking over the PA system here. Is that's what the pitchers are looking into the catchers for. Their sign. So Chris Ezzo doing a little shift from the 80s over to the 90s. I think he's probably going to be progressing his way to the 2000s and 2010s by the time the night's over.
Brandon Houck.
As Brandon Houck steps in, he's the Dawgs' first baseman tonight. He's been making a lot of good plays over there at first base. Number 23, and you know, first base, number 23. I'm a Yankee fan. Of course, I think of Don Mattingly. And that's in there for strike one. Ooh, that's off the forearm, boy. That sounded like it hurt, but Hawk just acted like it was nothing. He's like, he goes, I'll shake that off and I'll take my base. Tough guy. As Devin Campbell remains in the game for Albany on the mound.
Left fielder, 24, Warren University, Ethan Hughes.
As Ethan Pugh steps in, like I say, he was here last year. He had himself a heck of a season for the Dawgs, and he's back for more here in Little Falls. He's got a runner on first now with no outs. And that's fouled back. 0-1. Campbell looks in. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Throw down. They do not get Hawk. He's paying attention the whole time like a good base runner does.
Evan go to first base, Xavier go to back.
So there it is, a 1-1 count. As Campbell looks in, Hughes awaits. Here's the pitch. And that's fouled down to the Albany dugout. So you got a count of 1-2 now. As the Dawgs looking to climb their way back into this game. Hit sharply to shortstop and gets through. So there you go. That's what you needed right there. If you're the Dawgs, your first two runners are aboard. It's exactly what you wanted. And that is going to bring up the catcher, Nico Cerise, who has been having a great game behind the plate. He's thrown out two runners, and now he's got a chance to get himself some RBIs.
The catcher, number 5 from Hudson Valley, Nico Cerise.
As I said before, you never ever count a Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs team out, and they're about to show why. They got runners on first and second, no outs. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning as they look to bark their way back in this game. Lays the bunt down, a little small ball, and it worked to perfection. And boy, he almost liked that one out. He said he was out, but the job got done. He moved the runners over to second and third. So there you go, and that's going to bring up Sean Stoney, who is the shortstop for your Dawgs. He's got a great opportunity to get some runs batted in here.
Now ready, shortstop, number 2 from Lincoln University, Sean Stoney.
As the Dawgs channeling their inner Billy Martin with a little bit of small ball there. You like to see it. You know, I miss that. You don't see that so much in baseball anymore. The manufactured runs, moving them over. You always love it when you see it. And that one gets away, like I said, a lot of space here in the backstop, behind the backstop. And that is going to score the runner, so there you go. Run scores, and Hughes moves over to third, so there you go. Mohawk Valley within 3 now. Just one out, Hughes on third base, and Stoney at the plate. He's got a 1-0 count. As Campbell looks in, and suddenly he's finding himself in some turbulence here. And here's the pitch. And that's a chopper over to the third baseman. Booted, and that is going to get away. Run's going to score. 6-4 now. DiamondDawgs trail only by 2. As Stoney gets aboard. And for the first time tonight, Devin Campbell is finding himself in some rough waters here. As his catcher comes out to talk to him, try to calm him down a little bit. But the Dawgs are starting to bark. Here we go, woof, woof.
Now up to the DiamondDawgs, center fielder, number 3 from Bucknell, John Calabrese.
As John Calabrese steps in, had a great inning last inning, got that run across, and he's looking to continue the trend here. And that's in there for strike one. But here you go. If you're the DiamondDawgs, like I said, exactly what you need right here. Putting runs across, just clawing your way back into the game. Ooh, that's on the corner for ball or strike two. So the count is now no balls, 2 strikes with 1 out here to Calabrese. As Campbell looks in, there goes the runner, and that's fouled off. So Stoney looking to take second base there. However, you know, Calabrese's got to protect the plate with 2 strikes on him. So if it's close, as I tell you from Little League on, you got to take the cut. That is too low to swing at. Good take there by Calabrese. You know, I just noticed he choked up on the bat a little bit, too. That's another fundamental skill that, you know, unless you're looking for it, you don't realize when you choke up on that bat, gives you a little bit more bat speed. Try to fight off those pitches that are borderline. And that is fouled off. So count goes to 1-2. With 1 out here, Stoney on first base. As he's shown, he's got some wheels, so we'll see when he takes off again. Oh, he had to jump. He was going to go. And Campbell stepped off. Boy, you could tell he was firing up the afterburners. He wanted second base there. And there he goes. That's in the dirt. That gets away. He can take third. That bounces over the dugout and rolls over to the concession stand. So that's going to be a dead ball. So unfortunately for the Dawgs, Stoney has to stay at second base. That took one mighty hop over there and flew over the Albany dugout. And I just hope it didn't land into the ketchup and the mustard over there on the table. At any rate, counts 2-2. 1 out, runner on second base now. Calabrese battling up there. And is swinging a miss for strike 3. So 2 outs now. As the designated hitter, Matt Meyer, coming up.
Let's do a full switch. Evan the batter. And Xavier to pitching.
I'll tell you something. Like I said, this is the first game. This is the exhibition game right here. We're seeing what these Dawgs can do, and I can tell you, I think we're going to be watching Stoney stealing a lot of bases this season. Pretty exciting stuff. And that is on the inside corner for strike 1. Now you watching him take his lead there. You can just tell with some base runners, they're just confident and they're comfortable with looking to steal that base, and it looks like Stoney's going to be one of those guys. As Meyer steps out, takes a quick breather, kind of a mental reset more than anything else. Gets back in the box, and we are ready for baseball. Ooh, and that's right off the thigh. So a hit batsman, probably the toughest way there is to get on base, but he's on base nonetheless. And there you go. That is going to bring up RPI's Ian Olschlager. And we're going to have a conference at the mound here at Albany, for Albany, and it looks like we might be getting a pitching change here. Which I think we are. Definitely got a conference going on here, talking things over.
The runner should be talking.
Well, I don't see anybody coming in from the bullpen, so. You'll see managers do that sometimes, just kind of come out to calm the waters a little bit, give their team a chance to get a breather, take a deep breath, say, okay, let's get back at this. So Campbell's going to remain in the game, as the Dawgs have got runners on first and second with 2 outs. And Olschlager at the plate. Yeah, swing and a miss for strike 1. It's Campbell taking a look over to second base. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Stoney's going anyways. And he's in. Ball was dropped, so he is in. And there you go. As Myers followed him right to second base, so runners on second and third now. With the count 1-1, 2 outs here. The table is set for Ian Olschlager. Dinner is cooking. It is ready to go. All Ian has to do is eat here. Chance to get a couple RBIs. Here's the pitch, and that is outside, ball 2. As Campbell looking in, he is having himself a rough inning right now. The Dogs have been pretty consistent the past 3 innings. 1 run, 2 runs this inning so far, and that is fouled off out of play to run the count to 2-2. So Deuces Wild on that scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 runs in for the Dogs. Campbell looks in. Here's the pitch. And that is through the right side, in for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes a 2-run scores, and folks, we have got a tie ball game thanks to a 2-out RBI, 2 RBI single from Ian Olschlager. So there you go. What did I tell you earlier? Never, ever count the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs out. Here they come. They started barking earlier in the past couple of innings, and now they are roaring. They have scored 4 runs so far in this inning. Tie ball game at 6. As we got a timeout here on the field, and perhaps a defensive realignment here for Albany, trying to. Saw somebody running in from the bullpen. Now I saw him going back. So Campbell remains in. And now Joey Calabrese steps in. The cleanup hitter for the Dogs tonight. He's also the third baseman. And there's a first swing, and foul ball. Foul ball. So there you go. We got a tie ball game, a whole brand new ball game here. Tied at 6, bottom of the 4th inning. As Calabrese awaits the pitch, and here it is. And that's in the dirt. Runner does not advance. Count 1-1 here with 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning. And there's the pitch. A little off-speed pitch in there for strike 2. And the Bees have now decided to join us in the press box instead of in front. So, got some added company up here. Here's the pitch. And it misses low and away for ball 2. So, once again, Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a lot of Bees. And that's fouled off. That was a nice protect the plate swing there by Calabrese. Wasn't necessarily looking to drive it out into play, just wanted to foul that off and wait for his next pitch. And that's what coaches talk about when they say protecting the plate. That's exactly what you got to do, what he just did right there. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. So, the inning ends, but not before the DiamondDawgs push 4 runs across the plate to tie this game up at 6. So we will be heading to the top of the 5th inning with a whole new game. We'll be right back.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Number 26, Ryan Callahan. Callahan, number 26.
All right, we are back for the top of the 5th inning as your Dogs roared back and tied this ball game up last inning. And the Dogs have got a new pitcher on the mound. It's Ryan Callahan. He is a right-handed pitcher from St. Thomas Aquinas University. I have a hard time saying that, so you're going to have to bear with me. And that's probably the last time I'm going to be saying that again tonight, so I don't know why. You know, the older I get, sometimes my mouth just doesn't work as well on some words. But at any rate, Ryan is in there looking to pick up where Drew Harris left off. Like I said, Drew came in a tough situation, and he cruised in his part of the inning, or in his last inning. So here we go.
Now down into the Albany Athletics, the center fielder, number 1 from Sage College, Jared Russell.
So Albany has the top of the order up in the form of Jared Russell, their center fielder. So, you know, what was once looking like a cruising to an easy win for Albany, not so much so anymore. As we got a tie ball game at 6. Like I said, this is a 7-inning exhibition game tonight, but nonetheless, you still want to put a good performance in, and that's exactly what the Dogs are doing, and that is in there for strike 1. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like we have a new catcher as well. Let me take a look here. I'm going to get you confirmation on that in just a second.
Looks like 17.
So Matt Meyer went from being the designated hitter to putting on the catcher's gear. So he's going to get some action behind the plate. We'll find out who the new designated hitter is for the Dogs when we get that word. And the count runs to 1-2. You know, I noticed something about Meyer already. You know, if you're a fan of 80s baseball, you will certainly remember the name Benito Santiago.
Yes, I do.
So Santiago used to like to stick his right leg out just like Tony Pena used to do, too, and miss those kind of catchers. And now, as I said, he's not going to do it. So.
He also played for the Toronto Blue Jays, which he got sent down on a rehab, and I got to meet him.
There you go. I don't know if you could hear that or not, but our friend Chris Ezzo here up in the booth telling us how it was Tony Pena you got to meet. Benito Santiago. There you go. See? So there's the pitch, and that's fouled off. So the count goes to 2-2. With Ryan the Callaghan man. We're going to have to come up with some nicknames this year, too. Don't you worry. We'll do that on the fly. And here's the pitch. In the dirt and right back towards us. No runners on board, so no harm, no foul. As the count goes full at 3-2 here in the top of the 5th inning, leadoff batter. And that is fouled off. So Russell doing his best Bee Gees impersonation. He's staying alive. Maybe Chris Ezell will put that over the PA at some point. I don't know. At any rate, 3-2 still. No outs here. Top of the 5th inning. And that's a little chopper. Is that going to roll foul? It does indeed. So once again, the count remains at 3-2. As yes, we were just commenting on how much we like this instant replay that we bring into you here for the Creative Outpost broadcast here at these Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs games. And as we continue to get used to it, you'll be seeing more and more of them. You know, another thing that we are going to be bringing you is a roving camera. I'll be talking about that in a little bit as well. But in the meantime, here's the full count pitch. And that is in there for strike 3. Russell does not like the call at all, but Callaghan gets the leadoff strikeout, and there you go, 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning.
Now in for Albany, the first baseman, number 14, from Southern Connecticut State University, Mike Talavera.
And Mike Talavera, the first baseman, now up for Albany with 1 out. And that is inside. Buzzed him a little bit, but did not hit him. Buzzed him like these bees up here. I'm just going to keep talking about that, too, because there's a lot of them. They're not bothering us, so they're leaving us alone so far. Anyways, 1-0. 1 out here, top of the 5th inning. As Callaghan delivers, and that's right on the corner. As Myers got that leg kicked out, just like we were talking about. Good stuff here. And here's the 1-1. That is low for ball 2. I still think we got to have that A's night. I'm telling you. All right, Callaghan looks in. Here's the pitch. It's a short hopper to third. Throw across the diamond. There you go. Nice play all around. It was Joey Calabrese over to Brandon Houck, out number 2.
Stepping up to the plate, the designated hitter, number 23, Herkimer College, Marvin Hill.
And here comes the DH, Marvin Hill. Like we mentioned earlier, Marvin played his college ball here at Herkimer College. So, again, Marvin knows this park very well. As the sun goes down even more, the artificial lights are taking more and more up of the regular, well, the lighting of the park. Let's just put it that way. And that is on the corner for strike 1. I was going to try to think of something poetic to say there, and it just kind of lost me as I was talking. So, no Vince Scully, I am not. And there's the 0-1 in the dirt for ball 1. No runners aboard here for Albany with 2 outs in the the top of the 5th inning, with the score tied up at 6. As Callaghan looks in, there's the pitch in the dirt, ball 2. And that's fouled off. So the count goes to 2-2 here with 2 outs, top of the 5th inning, no runners aboard, score tied at 6. And outside of that 3rd inning, the Dogs have been solid on defense here. So, like I said, that first game jitters, you get the bugs out. That's what it's all about. And here's the pitch from Callaghan, just missed inside, and the count goes full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no runners aboard. Callaghan looks in. Here's the payoff pitch. And that is grounded over to Hurd, over to Houck, and that will do it. 3 up, 3 down for Albany. So going into the bottom of the 5th inning, we got a tie score at 6. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
All right, we are back here for the bottom of the 5th inning. Yeah, let's do that instant replay because we really want to try to work these in. This is the last out of the inning right here. The ground ball, Justin Hurd over to Houck to end the inning. The H&H brothers, we'll call them. You know, the Yanks had their M&M brothers. Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, Justin Hurd, Brandon Houck, the H&H brothers. All right, and so let's see. Albany has a new pitcher in the form of number 16, Owen Below. He's a right-hander. I couldn't quite catch where the college he's playing his college ball at. We'll find out here for you. It is Unknown U, so you'll never guess where that is because we don't know either. So, anyways, we are getting ready here for the bottom of the 5th inning with the Dawgs putting up 1 run in the 2nd, 1 run in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th, bring this game tied at 6. They certainly have all the momentum going, that is for sure. And now we're going to see if they can continue it. As Below continues to warm up here. Got to figure he's almost done as see Coach Luby getting a little anxious. He wants to get over to third base and do his coaching, man. He's like, I'm ready to go. My team is barking like crazy. I want to keep them barking, keep everybody up all night. And there we go. There's the throwdown, and we're going to be ready for baseball here. And there he is, the man who just made the last out last inning. He's going to lead off the bottom of the 5th. It's Justin Hurd, the University of Albany, the Danes. And that's in there for strike 1. And a little off-speed stuff, misses up high, ball 1. So the count goes to 1-1 here. As Justin Hurd looks to get the Dawgs started on their quest to take the lead. And that is fouled off down the first base line. The cameraman down there had to be on his toes, make sure he wasn't going to get hit with that one because that was smoked down that line. The count goes to 1-2. That's outside, so tried to frame it a little bit, but the ump was not fooled at all. Count goes to 2-2. And there's, ooh, gosh, right off the hand. Yikes. Yeah, that one stung. That one stung, but you know what? Justin Hurd's a tough guy. He shakes it off and takes his base on first. And now there's the other half of the H&H brothers, Brandon Houck. So there you go, looking to move his buddy along to second base and beyond. It's sort of like a Buzz Lightyear, the reference to Toy Story, what was it, to the moon and beyond or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, ball 1. As Hurd takes his lead off second base. There's the pitch. And that is laced into right field. And he is under it for out number 1. And that was Kyle Brown making the catch out there. It wasn't quite deep enough for her to be able to tag, so we're at 1 out, runner on first base for Ethan Hughes, I'm sorry. Tonight's left fielder for your Dawgs. And that's a little off-speed pitch on the corner for strike 1. As Hurd takes his lead. That's popped up. Charging in there was P.J. Strand, who makes the catch in the second out. So, just like that, there are 2 outs now.
Designated hitter, number 5, Hudson Valley Community College, Nico Cerise.
And Nico Cerise, who was catching and is now the designated hitter, steps in. So he's got 2 outs with a runner on first base here in a tie ball game at 6 in the bottom of the 5th inning. And that is outside for ball 1. And that's high for ball 2, so there you go. Nico getting ahead in the count. The Dogs have scored at least 1 run in each of the last 3 innings, looking to keep that streak alive. And that's popped up to the first base side, and that is going to do it. All right, so the Dogs got a runner aboard but could not put him across. So we'll go into the top of the 6th with this score tied at 6. We'll be right back.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber, they're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
All right, we are back here for the top of the 6th inning with the score tied at 6. As this has been one heck of a tilt here between Albany and Mohawk Valley in this exhibition game. And there you go, folks. You just heard it. The hometown kid is on the mound. Chase Regan, who's from right here in Little Falls, New York, plays his college ball at Herkimer College. So we said Marvin Hill was familiar with this park because he plays at Herkimer College. Well, Chase Regan grew up here, so there ain't nobody who knows this park better than him. And watching him in the warm-ups, looks like he's got some good electric stuff here tonight, so let's see him carry it on throughout the game. And there's the throwdown. Oof. Oh, I tell you, that Matt Myers got a gun on him. He threw that from his knees. He almost threw that out to the center field fence. So it looks like the Dogs have got no shortage of talent behind the plate, as both Cerise and Meyer look pretty good here. And speaking of catchers, Cam Mayo, Albany's catcher, is up. He will be the first batter that Regan faces. And that pitch is in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah, I got top of the 6th.
And here's the pitch. Hit sharply to short. Oh, just got by Stoney and into left field. You know, again, it's like we were talking earlier. This is a new park really for everybody except for guys like Regan and Hill who have played here plenty enough before. And there's different nuances about different fields, different hops, and, you know, you're going to see that in the first part of the season. You know, guys just trying to get used to the hops, the way the ball comes off the bat and the lights and everything. So it's all good. And now Kyle Brown is up. Kyle Brown is the right fielder for Albany, and he shows up. Ooh, boy. He took a pitch right off the shoulder. He tried to get out of the way, but it was no getting out of the way with that bunt that squared up. He looks like he's okay as he runs down to first base. Just got to retrieve his helmet there, and I don't think the umps are going to let him run without it. As Albany's coach is going to check on his player, wants to make sure he's okay because That was dangerously close to his head, but I think he got his shoulder more than anything else. I could be wrong on that, but I didn't quite hear anything hitting the helmet, but you never know. But the most important thing is it looks like Kyle Brown's okay, and that's paramount right there. That's, you never want to see anything bad happen, and that's a great thing that he's all right. So, runners on first and second now with no outs. As the Athletics looking to make some noise here in the top of the sixth inning.
Now waiting for the Athletics. The second baseman,
If you need to
number
move
4,
fast, you can
Western
fast.
Valley Community College, Matt Moran.
If I am, then go slow. If I'm not,
As Matt Moran steps in, everybody's ready to play some baseball, and here we go. They show a bunt again, and he lays down a good one. Regan's got no other play but to first, so they complete that, but the runners move over to second and third. Nice bunt there by Moran. And again, it's that small ball that I was talking about, Billy Martin style. You just got to love it. Except unfortunately for the Dawgs, it really worked out well for Albany because it did move the runners over. So now with runners on second and third base with one out, P.J. Strand steps in. Strand is the third baseman for Albany. Regan's going to have to work his way out of a jam here. That one's in the dirt. Nice block by Meyer. Here he comes anyways, and no go. He did not get him, so Albany retakes the lead. As Miles scores. That one got in the dirt. Meyer did a really good job of making sure it didn't get behind him, but there was so much on it that it squirted off to the side just enough to get the runner in. So Albany still with a runner on third base with one out now, and they now have the lead. And that's ball 2, so the count's 2-0. As Regan looks in. And Strand steps out, which, you know, actually that's sometimes good for the pitcher too. Gives him a chance to reset a little bit, think about what he wants to throw. Make sure he's got the signals and on the same page as his catcher, in which it appears he is. And here we go. And that one's in the dirt as well, and here comes Brown. So there you go. 2 runs in for Albany now. Counts 3-0. As Albany now goes ahead by 2. In the top of the 6th inning here. The count's 3-0 with 1 out. And that's on the... No, it was not. Okay, ball 4. So, Strand draws a walk, and that's going to bring up Ty Mariano.
Stepping up to the plate, shortstop, number 31, New Albany, Ty Mariano.
Mariano patrolling the shortstop position tonight for the Athletics. And that's inside for ball 1. So runner on first base as Regan tries to work his way out of this. And that's laced into center field. Just a perfectly placed ball. Wasn't much Calabrese was going to do with that one. So runners on first and second now.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 5, Houghton University, Christian Torrici.
As Christian Tortorici steps in.
what's the best way to locate?
Left fielder. He's got runners on first and second with 1 out here. His Athletics up by 2. And that one's in the dirt. Myers does a really good job, though, of making sure that does not get behind him. Like I was saying a little while ago, I am actually really impressed with the DiamondDawgs catching so far here. This has been really good. I think they got one heck of a tandem behind the plate so far. And here's the pitch. Runner fake going at second base. He held up, and that was a swing and a miss for strike one. The count now 1-1 with 1 out, runners on first and second. Throw down. Oh, boy, a little miscommunique there. That's kind of costly. Oh, not in time there. And oh, boy. Well, Meyer took a chance there throwing down a second, trying to catch him napping, and it didn't quite work out as the ball got into center field. And once it gets into center field, it's almost a guarantee that the runners are going to advance, which is exactly what happened there. And now there's runners on second and third. Counts 2-1, 1 out. As Tortorisi now has a chance at 2 RBIs. And that one gets by Meyer. And the runner scores, and that is 9-6 now, Albany. The strand comes all the way around.
You don't have to zoom in too much, George. You can give a little room.
Tough inning for the Dogs here so far. 1 out, 3 runs in for Albany. They got Mariano on third base. Dogs infield is in. Coach Luby does not want any more runs scored, so he has brought the infield in. Swing and a miss. So there you go, strike 2. And I can tell you right now, Regan wants nothing more than a strikeout right here. So he looks in, he's on the same page with Meyer. Here's the pitch, and that is low and outside for ball 4. So runners on the corners now with Ryan Reagan coming up. I don't know, looks like we got a pinch hitter. Looks like it's going to be Ty Kimball. Ty. So we're going to have a conference out on the mound here. I'm not sure if we're going to have a pitching change. I can't see far enough to see if there's anybody up in the bullpen. And Coach will be out there talking with his young team. You know, like I said, first game, it's an exhibition. Just getting everybody on the same page here. And while they're talking, I'm looking out at the scoreboard, and so the lines are, Albany has 9 runs on 5 hits, and they have 1 error. The Dogs have 6 runs on 5 hits, and they've committed 5 errors tonight, so the errors have been kind of a problem. But like I said, this is the first game. It's an exhibition game. Working out all the bugs here and get ready for tomorrow night. All right, so it's either Tage or it's Ty. I know my scorecard says Ty, but anyways, Kibler's up. And there goes the runner at first. There's the throwdown. Oh, looks like they got him in a pickle, but you got to watch that runner at third. Oh, here's some good practice right here for both teams. Oh, now they got to commit to the play. Nice block there by Meyer, preventing the run from scoring. So there you go. Patience does them good right there. As I tell you, the entire Dogs infield did a great job there, making sure that even though they had the runner at second or going to second base, caught up in a pickle, keeping an eye on that runner at third, and they didn't bite. So there you go. Throw home, get that runner at third. You still got a runner on second, but that's much better than a runner on third. You got 2 outs now. Count is 1-0. And that one's in the dirt, and that gets away from Meyer. Lots of space, so they're going to have to hustle to go get that. You know, like I've been saying here, Veterans Memorial Park, the foul territory here, kind of reminds me of the old Oakland Coliseum. If you think of that old Who song, I can see for miles and miles and miles. Well, there's miles and miles and miles of space here behind the plate. So when a ball gets away, it is quite problematic. Nonetheless, count is 2-0 here with 2 outs, runner on third base for Albany. That's in the dirt, and that's popped up. Not much Meyer was going to do with that. Well, that was a little different. He reached down and he touched home plate with his hand. So, okay. A little showmanship there on Albany's part, I guess. And, yeah, the wild pitches and the errors have been kind of problematic. But, like I said, first game of the year, get all the bugs worked out tonight. Score is now 10-6, and the count is 3-0 here with 2 outs. And that is at the knees for strike 1. As Regan looks in, here's the windup, here's the pitch. And that is in the dirt for ball 4. Okay, so that's going to bring up the top of the order. Jared Russell stepping in.
So you can ask Xavier for the rule of thumb. Kind of when you first, you want to be able to see the first baseman in case they throw it back, but you also don't want to lose the first base runner.
So runner on first base here, 2 outs, as the Dawgs is trying to get out of this inning here. And that's right back through the middle. Stoney flips over to second base to Hurd, and that will do it. But Albany scores 4 runs, and we will go to the bottom of the 6th with the score 10-6 Albany. We'll be right back.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
All right, and you just watched that instant replay there of that pickle out at home for the Dawgs. I tell you, I think this instant replay is going to really work out well for this broadcast this year. So I started talking earlier about, some of the things we want to add into our broadcast repertoire, if you will, this year. Instant replay is, of course, one of them. We are also going to institute a roving camera, which is going to be a lot of fun. Yes, indeed. We will have another camera out on the field being carried around by one of our interns. We'll have to pick the lucky one at some point. Anyways, they're going to be going around. You never know. We might get a between the innings interview with Coach Luby. That roving camera might be going up into the stands to talk to DiamondDawgs fans, see how they're feeling about their dogs and their game. So lots of different things we got going on. We want to make this broadcast as best as we can. We want to be the best in the PGCBL, and we're going to try like heck to make that happen. Coming up with some innovative things. If you got any ideas, let us know, because we're all ears. We are certainly wanting ideas from our fans, because you know what? This broadcast, this game does not happen without you, the fans, and we want your input. All right, so with that said, we are ready to go back to the bottom of the 6th inning here. Sean Stoney is going to be leading off for the Dawgs. They're down 4. I said earlier when Albany put 6 runs on the board and they were up 6-1, don't ever count this DiamondDawgs team out. This is the first exhibition, but I can tell you that the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs do not give up, and I don't expect them to now. As a matter of fact, I know they're not going to. As Stoney takes strike 1 right there, but again, a lot of fight left in these Dogs, a lot of bark left in them. Let's see what they can do. And that is low for ball 1, so the count goes to 1-1 as Albany leads 10-6. And the last time Stoney was up, he was just a monster on the base paths. And I can tell you right now, I think we're going to have some fun watching this guy on the base paths, because he is always looking to steal that next base. Always. So, going to be a lot of fun, folks, as the count goes to 1-2. And that is fouled off. So the count remains 1-2 as Owen Below remains in the game for Albany on the pitcher's mound. As Below looks in, here's the pitch. And that is in the dirt for ball 2. And we're going to get a new ball. I'll tell you, the field now bathed in artificial light. I got to tell you something. This crew here at Veterans Memorial Park does one heck of a job maintaining this field. This looks fantastic. It really does. I haven't seen it look this good in a while, and it does. It looks really good. Our hat's off to that crew. I mean, they always do a fantastic job. No doubt about that. But, just looking out, I just like the way they got everything mowed, the lines, everything. Looks fantastic. Great job, guys. As the count goes to 3-2 here with no outs. The bottom of the 6th inning. And that's fouled off, and we're going to do it all over again.
Switch here, basically. Just George to batter, Evan to pitcher in play.
Okay, so here we go. Bellow versus Stoney once again. Nice patience right there. That was really good patience at bat for Stoney because that was a pitch that was destined to go back in the strike zone. It was an off-speed pitch, kind of fooled me. I knew that, but not Stoney. And he fouled that off, and he lives to fight another pitch. And he fouls off another one. So the Souvenirs are going all over the field in this at-bat. But the Dogs don't care. They want to see Stoney get a board. And that's on the inside corner for strike 3.
I don't think anything beats the train more.
No.
So with one out, John Calabrese coming up, the center fielder.
John Calabrese.
As the left-hander digs in. He's been a spark plug for these Dogs tonight, too. He's been making some fantastic plays out there in center field as that pitch floats outside for ball 1. And that's low for ball 2, so there you go. 2 balls, no strikes here, 1 out. No runners aboard here for the Dogs in the bottom of the 6th as they look to climb back into this game once again. That's inside, ball 3. And that's a 4-pitch walk there for Calabrese. So there you go. That's what you need if you're the Dogs. You need base runners. And here comes Matt Meyer, who's taking over catching duties. He's flip-flop with Nico Soares, catching and designated hitter. So our current catcher, Matt Meyer, is up to the plate. Calabrese takes his lead off first. There's the pitch. On the corner, strike 1.
Switch back, George to batter, Evan to first. Tell this coach after the game his ass is going to be famous.
Waited on that, drove it down the line, and there you go.
Down the gap. There you go, yep.
Calabrese wisely holds up his second base with the temptation there to take third, but that ball was hit so sharply that it gave Albany time enough to get the ball back into the infield. Nonetheless, runners at first and second for Ian Olschlager.
Evan, I don't want you sitting on first.
The right fielder has really got an opportunity here to keep this train moving along. He's been having himself a really good game out there. He had that big 2 RBI single a couple innings ago. It really helped the Dogs climb back into the game and tie it up. Let's see what he can do again this time. And that misses inside, ball 1. So Holschlager coming to us from RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. A school that you got to be really smart to get into, and I would never even probably be able to get in the door. But there is a pop fly to second base. He's under, and that is out number 2. Matt Moran with the catch there. And now the cleanup hitter, Joey Calabretti.
Play for the DiamondDawgs, third baseman, number 13 from Seton Hall, Joey Calabretti.
So Calabretti is the Dogs' third baseman coming to us from Seton Hall. He's a Seton Hall Pirate. Well, right now, Coach Luby and the Dogs hope that he's got a treasure trove of RBIs in that bat right now because they could certainly use them. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. The Dogs look to chip away at this 4-run lead here that Albany has. Swing and a miss, ball or strike 1. Count goes to 1-1. And Malou looks in. Nobody holding the runners on. That was a really nice job right there, keeping the ball in front of him by Malone, because that could have gotten by him just as easily, but he did a nice job of getting down, making sure it stayed in front of him, and thus the runners stay at first and second. Counts 2-1 now. And that one's ripped foul over to the third base fence and into the woods. So either maybe a squirrel or a raccoon will get a souvenir out of that one. And the count goes to 2-2 here with 2 outs. On the inside corner for strike 3. So that'll do it. The Dogs put a couple runners aboard, but they could not push anyone across. So we're going to go to the top of the 7th with Albany leading 10-6. We will be right back.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime. Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, we are back for the top of the 7th inning here. The Dogs need to stop the Athletics from scoring anymore, and they will do so with a new pitcher. It's Cole Geedy, the left-hander from Herkimer College, another guy who's very familiar with this ballpark. So he is going to be tasked with holding down the fort, so to speak, to give the Dogs a chance to tie or potentially go ahead in the bottom of the 7th inning, because remember, this is an exhibition game, only 7 innings, so this is pretty much it for the Dogs. They got to do it here. As the Dogs will conjugate on the mound, a little pep talk real quick.
First baseman, number 14 from Southern Connecticut State University, Mike Talavera.
As Mike Talavera will lead off for Albany. As Meyer and Geedy talk about things a little bit. And we are ready for baseball. So the line right now, Albany 10 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Mohawk Valley 6 runs, 6 hits, and 5 errors. Oh, miscommunication, I guess, there. We're going to go out and talk about it again, just to make sure we're on the same page. Like I said, Geedy from Herkimer College, Meyer from Brockport. Again, first game, exhibition. Guys don't really know each other that well, so everybody's just kind of trying to get on the same page, make sure everybody knows where each other's coming from. It's all good. As Geedy looks in, and here's the pitch. On the corner, strike one. And Geedy goes into his stretch. He looks in. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball one. So the left-hander is wearing number 40. I tell you, sometimes you think that's so like a different number for baseball, 40. Not a lot of players wore it. First one that comes to mind for me is Chen Ming Wan, the former Yankee pitcher. But that's just me. I don't know. Anyways, that was in the dirt, so looks like the count is going to go to 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. I'll tell you, for those couple of years there, Chen Ming Wang was one heck of a pitcher. I think he almost had a 20-win season at one point. As Geedy looks in, here's the windup, here's the pitch. Inside, did not get him. And I can tell you it did not get him because there was some mustard on that pitch. And if it hit him, he would have known it. He would have been hopping around right now because that was right at the shins. But the count goes to 3-1. Talavera in a hitter's count can really take this one or leave it, whatever he wants to do. And he took it for ball 4. So Albany gets the leadoff runner aboard, and that is going to bring up fellow Herkimer General Marvin Hill. So, of course, Geedy and Hill, teammates up there in Herkimer, and have both been on the same team here at this very ballpark. So, two guys that are very familiar with each other for sure. Big, healthy cut from Hill, and he misses. Strike one. We got a little general-on-general battle here. So. And Hill certainly wanted to win that one with one swing. On the corner, strike two. Count goes to 0-2. With no outs here, a runner on first base in the top of the 7th inning. Albany leading by 4. Geedy looks in, takes a look over first base, a little bit of lead, and here's the pitch, and he missed up high. So 1-2. There's Talavera over on first base. Hill at the dish, and Geedy on the bump. And here's the pitch. Inside, ball 2. He looks like he's having some trouble keeping his hat on. He's got an impressive head of hair there, so I can imagine why it's not staying on too well. I'm very, very jealous, as a matter of fact. And here's the 2-2. As he looks over to the first base, checks on Talavera. There goes Talavera. Hill with a little bounce over to second. Hurd scoops it up, flips it over to first, over to Houck. So Hill is retired. Talavera advances to second, and there's one out. So Albany with a runner in scoring position with one out, and Cam Mayo coming up. He's their catcher. There's one catcher to another as Mayo had a little chat with Meyer. Some catcher talk. Giddy looks in, he takes a look over at Talavera. And here's the pitch. Inside, ball one. All right, so with one out here and a 1-0 count, Albany up by 4. They got a runner on second. And Giddy delivers. There goes Talavera again. Throw down from Meyer, not in time. Talavera got a great jump there, so that was going to be a very tough throw for Meyer anyways. So now with a 2-0 count, Albany has a runner on third with only one out here in the top of the 7th inning. The corners are in on the grass. Ooh, right off the arm. Boy, you can hear that up here. So it hits batter. That's going to send Milo to first, and that's going to bring up Kyle Brown, who himself got hit last time he was up too. So there's been a, like I said, first game, there's been some hit batsmen tonight, so there's going to be some bruises and some ice packs needed afterwards, that's for sure. So you got runners on the corners with one out here. And that was near the throwdown. Oh, here we go with that pickle play again. Oh, not in time this time. As Albany pulls it off that time. They got caught last time they tried to do that, but this time they score. So it's now 11-6. The runner on second base, top of the 7th inning.
I was on your camera and you just whipped it around. So everyone that's watching is getting motion sick.
So Mayo on second.
So you gotta keep in mind if I'm on your camera.
Brown fouls one back to the cage.
No, you're good. I'm just saying. If you're on batter, trust that Xavier's gonna get the play. And then when you're on pitcher, Xavier's
So we got a 1-1 count here with one out. Albany now up 5. As the left-hander Giddy looks in, here's the pitch. And that is high for ball 2. So a 2-1 count here with one out. Top of the 7th inning, the Dawgs down 5 now. So really going to need to start barking here soon. And it's fouled off and back to the cage. So count goes to 2-2. Cole Giddy could really use a strikeout right here. It would take a lot of pressure off for him. You're not taking a very big lead out at second base. Kind of more or less playing it safe. As Brown steps out, takes a quick breather and jumps right back in. As Giddy continues to look in, takes a look over at second base. Looks back to his catcher Meyer, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and just like I said, a strikeout was what he needed. A strikeout is what he got. So, 2 outs now. Runner still on second base. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Matt Moran. So if you can get Moran here, stop this lead at 5. You got some work to do in the bottom of the 7th, but it's not out of reach. And that came back in right at the last second on the corner. Strike one. Nice pitch. So the count's 0-1 with 2 outs here. Runner on second base. And right down the pipe, strike 2. So there you go. Giddy bearing down now. 0-2 count. He went right back to work and got 2 straight strikeouts to end the inning. So there you go. So Giddy gets out of it with giving up just 1 run. However, Albany leads 11-6 going into the bottom of the 7th. The Dawgs have got to get it done here. We'll be right back.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank. It starts here.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay, we are back for the bottom of the 7th inning. Like we said, this is an exhibition game. It's only 7 innings, so this is certainly the time for the Dogs to break out of the kennel and start running all over the base paths. As they are down 5, they're down 11-6. As Coach Luby, like I said, he's waiting to get over that third. He wants to get going. You know he does. And it looks like it's going to be Owen Baloo staying in for Albany on the pitcher's mound. And there he goes. Coach Luby's going to third. So you know what that means. That means it's time for the Dogs to come up to the plate. They got 5 runs to make up. So here we go, guys. Time to get to work. And you got the returning dog here, Justin Hurd, leading off. So Justin knows a thing or two about getting a clutch hit. He certainly has done plenty of that in his time here at Mohawk Valley. So here we go. Baloo against Hurd to get this inning started. And that's a little bit low for ball 1, so there you go. As Baloo looks in, here's the pitch. A lot of movement, but not into the strike zone. Ball 2. Here's the windup, here's the pitch, and that is fouled off. So the count goes to 2-2. Oh, I'm sorry, 2-1.
The only thing that you would have to adjust in your camera is the ND filter, and it'll literally screen.
And there's into the dirt, and that's ball 3. So there you go. Hurd works his way into a hitter's count. As the leadoff hitter being down 5, the Dogs really need him aboard. And here's the pitch. Right back through the middle. Scooped up, but no go. Just off the glove, and there you go. The Dogs get the leadoff batter aboard, just what they needed. And perhaps it is time to let the Dogs out. As Brandon Houck comes up, the other half of the H&H brothers between Hurd and Houck. So it's time for the Dogs to get moving. They're off to a good start. As Hurd takes his lead off first base, jumps out a little bit as that one floats into the strike zone for strike 1. I can't imagine Hurd would be going anytime soon, but you never know. You never know. Coach Luby might be feeling aggressive here. And that's in there for strike 2, so 0-2. As Hawks got to protect the plate now. Baloo takes a look over, but I don't think he's going to be spending too much time looking over to Hurd. And that's in the dirt, stays in front, so Hurd will not advance. However, the count goes to 1-2. Albany with that 5-run cushion that the Dogs would absolutely love to chew into. There's Baloo, not even looking over her. Here's the pitch, and that's in the dirt as well. So there you go. Hawk hanging in there, battling back. He was down 0-2, and now it's up to 2-2. You're liking the patience you're seeing out of him at the plate. And that's in the dirt, and that gets away. That's going to put Hurd at second base, runs the count full. Hurd took a nice round, but he's not. He's like, no, we need 5 runs. I'm not going to take a chance here, but there you go. So now Hurd's at second base. The count's full. Keep in mind, it was 0-2 at one point. So now the Dogs, if Houck can get aboard, you get something going here. There's no outs in this bottom of the 7th inning. As Baloo looks in, takes a look over Hurd. Here's the pitch. And that hit. Yeah, that hit Houck. So there you go. He wasn't going to move out of the way for that one either. He's like, no. I'm taking this base, my friend. And now you got runners at first and second. And another Diamond Dogs veteran, Ethan Pugh's coming up. Ethan's certainly been in these situations at this ballpark, and he's excelled in them quite a few times. So the hope is still alive for the Dogs as they got runners at first and second. No outs. Down 5, but they're barking. Blue looks in, and that is outside for ball 1. I say, if Hughes gets aboard here, you keep the train moving. And there's the pitch, and that is lifted into center field. It's not going to be, well, it's going to drop. That is going to drop, and there's going to be a play at third. Oh, boy. So just one of those weird no-man land plays where, quite frankly, it looked like there could have been a play made in center field, but it dropped. But unfortunately for Hurd, he had to kind of hold up because he could have been picked off at second, and instead they got him at third. So not much Justin could do about that one. So Nico Cerise up now with 1 out, runners on first and second. Like I said, just one of those weird baseball plays that happens. And that is a ball. Oddly enough, if there was 2 outs, the runners would have been going on contact, and Herb would have probably scored, but we certainly don't want 2 outs here if you're the Dogs. We'll take that 1 out, and that's it. Keep that train moving. And that is outside for ball 2. So the 2-0 count here, 1 out, runners on first and second. Houck on second, Pugh's on first. Count goes to 3-0. Surrey's taken. That's on the corner for strike 1. So the count goes to 3-1 now. 1 out. Dogs down 5, but they got runners on first and second. This game is not over. And that's outside. So there you go. Cerise draws the walk. Bases are loaded now. 1 out. And Sean Stoney coming up, the Dog shortstop. And we're going to have a conference here at the mound for Albany. So let's see. Yeah, it looks like there's... All right, so we're going to have a new pitcher for Albany. So while the pitcher's warming up, I think we'll probably go to a quick commercial break here. And then when we come back, we will have the conclusion here. Dogs got bases loaded, 1 out, down 5. We'll be right back.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
Okay, so we are back here. Bottom of the 7th inning. Dogs down 5. Bases loaded with 1 out. New pitcher for Albany, P.J. Strand, who was the third baseman, is coming in to pitch now for Albany. Not quite sure who's going over to third base for them just yet. But, like I was telling you earlier throughout this entire broadcast, it doesn't matter what the year is. It doesn't matter who the players are. If you know anything about Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs baseball, it's do not count them out. And here you are, right? Down 5, bottom of the 7th inning, and they load the bases. So here we go, folks. The stage is set. The concert venue is full, and Sean Stoney is up to the plate with a chance to knock in some runs and get the Dogs closer.
But keep in mind, now that we have bases loaded, Xavier, you might be...
So P.J. Strand coming into a tough situation here, and he delivers his first pitch. Stoney, might have broke his bat there. Throw over to first, run scores.
That's a first.
So the Athletics get their second out. Run scores though, so it's now 11-7.
No. When he hit the ball.
First pitch swinging, and could have potentially broke the bat there. I'm not quite sure. But at any rate, with 2 outs now, John Calabrese, the center fielder's up. Runners on second and third. He's got to get aboard. And that's in there for strike 1. So Pugh's on third. And there's the pitch. That's outside for ball 2. Or ball 1, I'm sorry. Jeez. It's starting to get a little late. 1-1 is the count with 2 outs. There you go. And that's outside for ball 2. There. Now I'm right. Ball 2.
You just knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, well, you know.
Psych.
And Nico Cerise taking a huge lead out there at second base. Oh, my gosh. He gets any bigger of a lead, Pugh's is going to have to steal home because he's just going to take third anyways. Counts 3-1. And there you go. So Calabrese draws the walk. Bases are loaded again. And now it's up to Matt Meyer.
Flips the plate for DiamondDawgs. The designated hitter, number 17, pursuing Brockport, Matt Meyer.
So with 2 outs here, the bases are juiced for the DiamondDawgs. That's down the line. That's a fair ball. Roped it down the line. 1 run scores. 2 run scores. Muffed out in left field. We're going to get a third. No, Calabrese is going to hold up at third, but you know what? Big time hero play right. Matt Meyer right there. That's a 2-run double. The Dogs are now within 2. 2 outs on the board. Runners on second and third. Strap in, folks. This game is not over yet as Ian Olschlager comes up to the plate. He had a big 2 RBI single in the 4th inning, and if he gets in another 2 RBI single, we're going to have a tie ball game. Never a dull moment with these Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. I'll tell you that right now. And this is just the first game. We have got a whole season of this coming up. This is going to be awesome. Pitch is inside for ball 1. So 1-0 with 2 outs here. Runners on second and third. That's in the dirt. That gets away. That's going to score a run. So Cerise scores, and now we got a runner on third. A 1-run game here. It's 11-10.
I got 11-10, and I got 2-0 with 2 outs.
So we're going to have a little conference here at the Albany Mound as all of a sudden that 5-run lead they had is just about completely evaporated. If the boiling point of water is 212 degrees, right now the Dogs are at 210. They're just about to boil over here. So in one run. With a 2-0 count here, runner on third base. Oh boy. It doesn't get any better than this. And Olschlager now, instead of needing 2 RBIs, he only needs 1, and we got a tie ball game. So here we go. The count's 2-0, and here is the pitch from Strand on the corner, strike 1. Well, I hear an awful lot of excitement down there, rightfully so. Off the inside of the bat, that's over to the second baseman, flips over to first, and that is going to do it. Well, I'll tell you what, the Dogs fall 11 tonight in this exhibition game, but it was not boring at all. A spirited comeback attempt by the Dogs in the bottom of the 7th falls just short, but you know what? It was an exhibition game, and it was a great exhibition opener for the Dogs. However, the regular season starts tomorrow night right here at Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls as the DiamondDawgs host their arch rival, the Utica Blue Sox. First pitch is scheduled for 6:35 p.m. Be here at the park, and if you can't be here, follow us, of course, on this live stream. I'm Scott Kimball. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard, gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go Dogs! We got a guy on third and nobody out. It's time to stand up, yes, it's time to shout. We're playing some ball and we're having some fun. Come on, boys, let's score that run. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go Dogs! Field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard, gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go Dogs! 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 Don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go Dogs!